fleeting mist at dawn evaporate.
So our album, Dream Radio, came about in a very peculiar way. It was Valentine's Day, and my wife Carrie made for me a surprise tiki lounge party in our room and transformed it to this amazing Hawaiian-style straw hut vibe thing, complete with music and snacks, multiple types of margaritas, and it was super cool. We watched our friend Blake Lewis perform a live stream because everybody's on lockdown, you can't go anywhere, and maybe had a few margaritas that night. Next thing I remember, I was having this really vivid, lucid dream. It can only be described as I absolutely believed it was real. And I was at someone's house or their kitchen, and they had an old school like clock radio sitting on the counter, and kind of with the digital numbers on it. And coming out of this little clock radio was music. And as I'm listening to it, I realized that the radio itself is actually going through different stations. But on each station, I'm starting to recognize the fact that the music that's playing is actually our band, The Wandering Now. I can tell it's me singing, I can tell it's us. It just felt, oh my gosh, this is us. Now, I'm trying to hold on to all these thoughts and trying to remember the feeling of these songs because they're very different. And then I woke up and I was just a little taken aback, and also realizing I wasn't necessarily feeling that well because perhaps I had had a few too many margaritas the night before. But energized by this dream I had and knowing that there's like this complete album that I'm supposed to make, I find my way into the studio. And in my condition, I just had to quickly get this stuff out there. Just the feeling of what the songs gave me, I had to somehow get those into the computer. So, I created some quick backing tracks, repurposed some stuff I did before, and just sang as best I could a bunch of gibberish lyrics just to get the melodies out there and the emotion of the songs somehow captured in that moment before the whole thing faded from my mind.
Blue sky, here and gone. Blue sky, here and gone.
And so I did that, but I also didn't have any lyrics. So you probably hear about singers who have like mumble lyrics, they just sing gibberish. I decided I just needed a consistent narrative, so I decided to sing about Zambonis, the things that smooth the ice on ice rinks for some reason. About hot Zambonis, they're nice, they smooth the ice, feel so right in the night, just all those things. So I recorded 10 songs with 10 different vocal hooks or vocal melodies, not complete songs, just really basic 10 seconds or less of a song just to get these ideas recorded, all of them about Zambonis. And during this process, I decided I just need to call Jim right away to tell him what's happened. So I call him, and we usually just text, and I said, Jim, I had this crazy dream. I was at this tiki bar party last night. Then I woke up after a lucid dream and I had this whole album in my head and I have to record it immediately. So I went to work and the best I could get all these 10 demos done, super short, rough sketches, just ideas, and uploaded them to Jim and waited to hear what he thought. He replied, and I think he says, "These are all hits." And I'm like, "What? Really?" And he says, "Yes." And he says, "We have to do this album." And I'm like, "Yes, of course we have to do the album." So over the course of the next many months, we've been working our way through each of these songs, each of them having their own distinct personality and energy, but all derived from that original inspiration, which is cool. So truly an inspired work that covers a lot of ground. Jim did an incredible job of interpreting the super short, crazy rough demos into 10 amazing compositions, that blew my mind. He sent back his project to me. I was super inspired to come up with additional melodies and guitar parts and bass parts, and we tweaked and played with layers, and I got to have a lot of fun with producing it, with effects, and engineering the whole thing, and worked on it tirelessly for like the next 6 months. All of my spare time spent working on it to get this thing realized before everything, completely faded from my mind. And what we have now is our 10 songs mastered and ready for release, and by the time you see this, is probably already out.
Can't you see I'm just me, don't need your permission. Not gonna let these obvious push me into submission. Hold my head up high, it's not.
Coming out on August 5th. I couldn't be more proud of it. A lot of stories of things that happened along the way we can't wait to share, but this was truly an inspired work, and we're so happy that we get to share it with you. So, thanks for listening.
So right around Valentine's Day, I had been writing a whole lot of music. I think I had done sketches for 3 new songs and had sent them over to Caesar for, review and excitement. And, we were excited to kind of have some new things we were going to be working on, a couple of instrumentals, maybe another pop song. And Caesar was letting me know that on Valentine's Day, he had a, little thing planned, and let me know that his wife Carrie surprised him. Just a crazy tiki party with decorations throughout the house, and food and drink and all that, and that he would be offline for a little while. And that felt like probably a good thing for him to do. So I thought, great, I'll just keep on working on my stuff. There's a few more things just to keep on going with. On the morning of the 15th, I got a phone call from Caesar. It was unique because we don't call each other very often. We text, we write. I'm in Minneapolis, he's in Seattle, and we're good friends, but we're not people who call each other at 10 in the morning unless there's kind of something happening. He calls me up and says that he had the craziest thing, and I should probably just let him tell it. He tells me that he had a vivid dream involving listening to a radio that was tuning while he was listening, and it was playing our new album. And he could only hear little snippets of each song, but that it was real. And I'm asking, so you mean music that we've done before? Because at this point we've got 20 songs in the can, right? He's like, no, this is all new music. This is our new album, and I heard it. And I just want to let you know I am going to be recording what I can remember of it.
You gotta let me know tonight. Can't wait anymore. If all you wanna do is fight, I'll walk out the door. Exhausted trying to explain. No answer.
So then, over the course of the morning, the next 3-4 hours, I'm getting ping, 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 MP3 files of sketches that he has done of everything he remembered hearing on his dream radio. There were sketches, not a whole lot of thought put to instrumentation or anything like that, and he didn't know the lyrics. So he sang kind of blah-blah words around the word Zamboni, which is just a thing he decided to do. By the end of the day on the 15th, I had a new folder on my Mac called Zamboni, and it was 10 tracks. I named them Zamboni 1 through Zamboni 10. And I listened to them all, and then I checked back in with Caesar, and he confessed to me he had actually been drinking rather heavily the night before, that he and Carrie had a number of margaritas, and that he was savagely hungover during the creation of this project. And I said, well, this is magic. This is crazy magic. You've heard 10 songs. You've given me sketches for 10 different songs. We're making this album. Flat out, that's what we're doing.
Can't
up with an idea of I would just use those sketches as our baselines to start writing the songs. I started working on number 5, which kind of had a groovy feel to it. And at this time, a lot of what we were doing was very focused on a very specific period of time, about 1986. I was using a lot of Fairlight sounds. There was some just really, it was really of a moment. The music we were doing. This is when we did Dark Precision and Wait and See and some of those other ones that really have a strong vibe of, did this come from a time that I had just never heard of this band? And so I started working on number 5 in that style, and I kind of came up with something that, you know, kind of almost had like a Miami groove to it. And I played it, and he's like, yeah, this is great, we should do this. And then we just thought to ourselves, we said, you know what? Let's not be constrained. Let's do these 10 songs however we want to do them. If we want to do them 2000 style, great. We want to do them 1979, fantastic. If we want to have every one of these songs be a unique expression of who we are right now as musicians. And that freed us up. And the first thing I did was I took my sketch for Zamboni 5 and I just threw it out. There's one piece of music in Zamboni 5 that is from my original sketch. And I won't spoil which part it is, but it makes me smile because when I hear it, I think of the journey we went on for Dream Radio. So it took 6 months for us to do 10 songs, but it was an amazing 6 months of work. And you know what? In there, we did other things too. We didn't always have to do this. We released 2 cover band songs. We did another instrumental in there. You know, we wanted to make sure that we weren't grinding. We wanted to make sure that every song we did felt good. We kind of had a mantra, and that is all thriller, no filler. And so when you see what we're going to be doing here with Dream Radio, we're releasing all 10 songs as singles. We don't think that any of them exist as just something to get from point A to point B. They are all amazing, and we're just amazingly thrilled to share them with you. A couple of other things, just to off the top of my head, you can edit these in where you want, but the sketches that Caesar sent were all kind of in a space of a key that he was comfortable writing in and kind of a tempo that was just kind of easy. So like most of them were in the key of D, and a lot of them were right around 115 BPM. Okay, just that's what they were. We changed them. Some of them are down to 80 BPM, some of them are up to 135. And I made sure that every one of them was in a slightly different key so that you never are listening to one song and then going into the next song and thinking, oh, this is just part of the same song. No, the keys were important, the chords were important, the melodies were important, and the lyrics were important. That's Caesar's story to tell. Anyway, we hope that you really like Dream Radio. We're pretty proud of it, and thanks.